Welcome back to the 200 Great Day. Here we are in beautiful Idlewild, California. We got this awesome tree broken up right next to us. But today in this video, we've got the perfect car for these scenic mountain roads. Right in front of us, the new AMG C63S. Daniel just got this car. It is officially one of the last ever V8 AMGs, and the direction that new cars are going, they are discontinuing the V8 engine, and I am definitely going to miss it. Look how amazing this car looks in the iridium silver. It is just eye-popping. It looks so similar to a lot of AMG GTRs that I see. Plus, he has the same wheels as the AMG GTRs you can see down below. No, it does not have carbon ceramics, but we'll get to that shortly. I am honestly such a big fan of this car right behind me. Looking at this car with its 500 plus horsepower V8, this is Biturbo, which means essentially a twin turbo. And with that being said, it doesn't take away from the driver experience, at least from my experience. It is a properly well-built turbo system, and I'll show you when we get inside of it. The down-low torque is also very impressive. Some cars, when they put turbos in them, the sound goes away, or you lose a lot of low-end torque. From what I hear, this car is amazing. Now, this car right in front of us is maxed out with so many amazing options. First of which, though, you're gonna notice how aggressive it looks with this blacked out rear spoiler in the back, the wide body effect with the lower exit vents. Actually, those aren't functional, are they? Oh my gosh, the owner watching this video is gonna see how I'm pointing out how it's not functional. I thought it was functional. I'm a big fan of the diffuser with these AMG tips. Now, they're not actually connected to the exhaust pipes, similar to many other car manufacturers, how they do things. Even with the new Z06 coming out, the outer tips are separated and connected to the fascia in the back. So that if you get an accident, the exhaust system won't get damaged right away. And I'm sure there's many other reasonings behind this. The AMG aerodynamics package, it's about $1,700 and also gives you this amazing side skirt down below. Now, it's not finished in exposed carbon fiber, but coming to the front of the vehicle, it properly finishes off the aggressive vibe with this extended lip down below. Obviously, be careful to not bottom it out. However, it looks really, really cool with these veins, these three veins towards the middle of the car. And there's so many different competitors in the segment, namely BMW M series cars in general. I think AMG with their C63 they've developed a nameplate that is so recognizable within the marketplace. And when you get one of these vehicles, it's not just about the AMG prestige of having a luxury German car in the street. It's also made to be driven hard also on the track. This car, they lapped around the Nürburgring in 7 minutes and 42 seconds. And for being this big, that is very impressive. Now, weight, it is about 4,000 pounds with its 500 horsepower, but let's go ahead and open up the hood and check out that 4-liter Biturbo V8. Alrighty, here we go. Got the hood up on the C63S, and you can finally take a look at that fully hand-built 4-liter Biturbo AMG V8 plus the badge showing you who handcrafted your engine. I think this one says Velibor. Please let me know if I'm saying that correctly, but that is one neat characteristic of buying one of these vehicles. Yes, it's expensive. This one starts at right around $70,000. The exact build on this vehicle is right around 90 plus. That's a lot of money, but you are getting, again, a hand-built AMG engine that is made to be driven hard and go on the racetrack. What's really cool is that having the hood up in the air, you can get a good idea of how the air intakes work for this engine. Now, you see these two channels right here on either side of the block. Look, the opening is right behind the front grille. Is up top. So if you bend all the way down, you can see how the air not just travels to the radiator right behind this big Mercedes-Benz logo, but also up over the top and to the sides of the V8. And right here it says, don't put your hand because you'll get injured, but Daniel did this a few seconds ago. You can push up on this flap, and I believe this is for more cooling for that engine bay. Regarding the track system, down below you'll see another pair of radiators towards the front of the front wheels, and behind them there is another air extraction outlet that brings the air to the front rotors. Now these are not carbon ceramics, they are steel, and I would argue for the racetrack, I would much rather have these. Yeah, a lot of the AMGs do offer the ceramic, you can get them. However, for maintenance costs over time, if you are going through them, I wouldn't recommend it for a hardcore performance use. The good part about the carbon ceramics is that you're not gonna have the insane brake dust that typically comes with these steel/iron rotors with the pads. Carbon ceramics are much better at keeping your wheels clean. Lastly, regarding contact patch, you have 255s up front with a 19-inch wheel, and then you have 285s out back. One of the best angles I think you can look at this car from is right here next to the driver's side door, looking up to the front fenders, because you have this wide body effect going straight up. It reminds me a lot of like the C63 Black series that came out of the last generation. It was pretty spectacular with that wide body regarding the fenders, and you can definitely see some traces of the heritage with this model right here. Anyways, let's hop inside and check out the interior. Alrighty, opening up the AMG. This interior is honestly fantastic. I'm such a big fan of all the red stitching everywhere. With all the polished metal, the car looks like fine jewelry from the inside. The ergonomics, the soft materials, it is definitely high quality, and you're getting your money's worth. Mercedes-Benz, they know how to design and develop an interior like this. This red is an option, so be prepared to spend a little extra to get it. However, this car does have the next generation steering wheel. You'll find the same exact steering wheel within like the G63s, also the AMG GT models that are from this year and forward, well actually 2020 and forward. I love the carbon fiber finish on the top with the 12 o'clock racing mark. It is just perfect. This is another option to add on top. When you get the car standard, this is all Alcantara. However, this is an exposed carbon fiber finish instead. Major fan of the carbon, and I think if you're gonna get one of these cars, you've got an option for it. There is no lack of carbon fiber anywhere inside this interior, as you can see. And Mercedes-Benz actually partnered with IWC, the watchmaker, to develop the watch that goes on the center console for this vehicle. Everything within this vehicle is characteristically German, to all the finished and highly texturized metals that are on every single air vent, to each toggle switch for each climate control selector. The AMG logo down below has this awesome brushed metal look. The only downsides I really find with the interior inside this car, let's go ahead and start it up. Oh, that sounds really mean, is that this display is not touchscreen. All the controls are handled basically down below with this hand touchscreen, where you can slide through everything by moving your finger or by spinning this toggle switch down below, this knob. There is one really cool thing that Mercedes-Benz has added to the C63 with this new generation of steering wheels. It's that you actually have a touchpad built in on either side of the steering wheel that you can use to control not just the display in front of you, but also that middle display. So by no means do you have to pull your hands off the steering wheel to cycle through different displays if you want to look at your power and performance settings or your GPS navigation. It's all baked in from this center command hub of a steering wheel. That is awesome. Nice touch, Mercedes-Benz. Sitting in these seats, they are very comfortable. I'll be honest, I have a lot of play in between each side of the side bolster, which you can see right here. If you're a bigger person, you would probably fit more snug. I am looking forward to seeing how they hold me and how well they hold me in for these corners on these mountain roads. Look at these bucket seats. Yeah, if you're gonna get this car, you definitely have to option them out. And Daniel, the owner, has lowered his back seats. Yeah, you would probably have a hard time sitting back there, to be honest with you, but he's lowered them to get more exhaust noise through the cabin. So that's one interesting ownership experience he's learned. If you want more exhaust noise, lower down those back seats. Even with these sport bucket seats, you have so much control for the different options of adjustment. And unfortunately, the owner, Daniel, did not opt for the cooled seats, but these are heated. So hit this button right here, and you have a heated seat system. The entire dashboard, everywhere you look within this car, feels highly thought out, highly German. So let's check out the steering wheel, shall we? If I move my finger up, it'll cycle through the left-hand side of the display. We've got our boost gauge with our temps. Also, we've got our drive selection, that being a moderate engine, also a D for automatic, balanced exhaust note. You can make it louder by just hitting this exhaust note button right here, and it'll change the pitch to a deeper pitch. On the right side, you have your GPS. This side of the steering wheel, again, controls this display. So swiping right, I did want to show you one awesome feature this car does have. First of which, look at that exoskeleton. It shows the drivetrain and where you sit with the steering column and the engine. That's so cool. And then when we change drive selection, that being, here's comfort, here's sport, here's sport plus, and it's also changing the display. Then here's race. It shows you a racing indicator down below. If you wanted more customization, you can just toggle the left side as well to put on comfort suspension while being in race mode. Go back to Sport Plus, and down below is that you go into a manual. Hit the bottom selector. One really awesome thing about this AMG is that this display is so well integrated with the car. Here we have the vehicle performance settings. The first one is dynamic select, where you can control all the parameters of the engine, and it'll show you on this live view how it affects the car by changing colors and so forth and giving you different readouts on the left. I think that is so awesome. So you don't have to just rely on the middle section to change settings. You can also customize even more with this center display. Let's go to the exhaust system, shall we? Powerful. So that's what they call loud exhaust, aka powerful mode. I love that. Let's back out and look at the race settings for this vehicle. We have engine data, which will show us your horsepower readout, your torque, also the temps. For the track, make sure to leave that on. Vehicle data, which is going to show us steering input. So by turning right, it's going to affect the steering angle of the vehicle, and it'll show us the compression within all four corners of the suspension, and the gas pedal inputs and so forth throughout. So you can tell this car was definitely engineered by a team of performance enthusiasts. Then dynamic data shows you what? Shows you everything, right? Yep, G-force, horsepower, pound-foot of torque, and boost. Is there anything else? Nope, that is it. So down below, check out track pace. Down below, there's the official Nürburgring lap time. Mercedes is super, super proud of that, which I can understand why. But let's hit OK on track pace. Warning, this is for racetrack use only. Don't ever use on the street. But we're just checking it out for now. Hit OK again. Come on, load up. Now, this is where you can control and select your built-in time recording for different racing tracks. So right here, it says first select a track, okay, and then it gives you can record your own track, or you can actually go through a list of tracks. Right here, I have selected on Laguna Seca, and it shows you the readout for the track, and once you start the finish line, it'll start recording time. I love that. Going down here, let's look at the different selections for drag. So you have acceleration, quarter mile, braking, and history. Let's check out quarter mile, shall we? Okay, look at that. So once you start, it's gonna tell you your speed, your quarter mile time, and also the start line, and how far you've gone. Here's your telemetry settings. So when you go fast, it'll show a graph of how fast you're going, and when you brake, you can use this to compare lap after lap to see if you are accelerating to the same point or braking at the same point. Lastly, going down to all tracks, I just want to show you how many different track options you have. This page right here is mainly, I believe, is it German? Yeah, these look like German tracks. You have Spa, Circuit of the Americas. Scrolling down, you have the Nürburgring. Where's the full-size Nürburgring? There's Laguna. There's a full-size Nürburgring right there, 12 miles. Select that and go on the track. You can also change modes by hitting dynamic down below and cycling through the settings, or you can go into manual by hitting this button right here, change suspension settings. You have auto start and stop as well, and your camera systems all throughout the car. Look at the amount of cameras this car has. So in front of us, we have a 180-degree view. We have 360-degree for parking, plus this car will actually park for you if you want, and it'll drive on its own by keeping you within a lane and also change lanes for you while keeping speed. This thing is high tech. The point is this car was built by performance enthusiasts. The AMG team it is designed not just for the street, but also to be driven hard. So you know what? Let's go ahead and start driving it and find out what it's like. Now we're joining Daniel, the owner. How's it going, man?
Hello, welcome.
Thing is a beast. Cannot wait to test it out. I think we got a pretty good gap right now, right? To kind of experience the car.
Oh yeah.
But you said there's a key holder in here, right?
Yeah, so you just slide it right in.
Which direction? This way or this way?
Either way, honestly. Yeah.
It's kind of, and it stays?
Yeah.
You sure? Or is it this way?
It's either, yeah, there you go.
Alrighty then, if you say so. Yeah. I love the carbon fiber. It looks really cool in here. All together, man, the interiors that Mercedes-Benz makes for these cars, you instantly can tell how they are worth the money. They're pricey vehicles, right? This one is about like 90,000.
Starts at 78, but spec to like 93.
I gotcha. I love the Alcantara, the suede with the carbon fiber. Let's go ahead and start it up, shall we?
Yeah, so
pretty smooth.
So there's two modes in the startup. You can do the downshift pedal mode, but it's okay. It's like a louder startup.
So if I want to go into, like, let's say sport mode for now, and I want loud exhaust and manual shifting, go ahead and spin. This is the mode selector, right? What's the difference between sport and sport plus?
So sport, it's yeah. So the sport plus keeps the revs. Yeah, it keeps the revs.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
Sport plus suspension, and then manual mode. Yeah. I love how you have the new generation front steering wheel with all these special like LCDs and color displays. You know what though? Does this car have that special traction control system the GTR has?
Yes, same 10 stage. So you want to hold this.
Hold the traction button.
And then right here it's gonna pop up on the screen too.
Oh wow! Oh, it's actually on the steering wheel too. So we're on 5. Let's leave it there. That's a very green Jeep right there, but let's get going then. That is so cool. Is this a normal what do you call it, slip that you have with the car?
I usually just leave the traction on.
So let's maybe turn it back on. We're on the street. Wow, those pops and bangs sound really good.
It's really nice. You know, I was worried with the facelift that it was going to sound not as good as the pre-face, but I think it's better.
Let's go in second gear, give it power. Wow, that sounds so good.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, and it gives you this really cool like flash of red all over the front instrument cluster when the shift.
Cool little F1 little feature.
Yeah. And the steering wheel, it feels so good.
And it has the right thickness to it. Like the actual, it's really nice.
I love seeing the horsepower readout as we drive. That is so cool. Man, it's handling itself so well in these corners.
Yeah, these are my first tires still.
This thing is composed, dude. It's really handling itself very well in these corners. This is, you gotta realize you can fit 4 people in this car while driving.
Just hoon it around everywhere.
And the acceleration is just, it feels very impressive. So right around 500 horsepower, similar output to what the GTR, right? Same engine?
So same exact engine, just a different tune from factory.
Really?
Yeah, it's so the GTR is 577, but I've seen to the wheel almost like over 600. This to the wheel, it's a bit under 503, but it's the same exact engine. So at the end of the day, it's they're both brilliant. But yes, it's a bit underpowered than the GTR.
I mean, for what you're getting for the money, this feels like an AMG.
It's a baby GTR if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, because the chassis composure, it's not beating us up. It feels extremely comfortable, yet it's soaking up these road conditions so well. And this doesn't have, what, Cup 2s? This has got normal performance summer tires.
Yes.
And it feels this good in the bends. This is a perfect road for this kind of a car, isn't it? Dude, you don't get into a four-seater car like this very often and get to do stuff like that.
It's awesome.
But this is an AMG, man. This is a C63, and it's really
the S. This is
the S model.
In a way, yes, the GTR is obviously different, but
you can properly hoon in this car.
Yes,
It's like a proper sports car. And I can see how you can take this car out on like the Mercedes Academy, like Laguna Seca, and just have a terrific time driving it on the racetrack at like Laguna. You gotta track this car at least one time, because it feels like it's made for it, to be honest with you. The power doesn't get old. The torque, for having a biturbo, basically a twin turbo V8, it's actually, I don't feel turbo lag with it. It feels very natural and progressive, building up in the RPM. The electronics they have in this car, the displays, it feels, I think, even better than my CA Corvette when it comes to how high tech. Like watching the horsepower readout and the torque, that's so cool on the secondary display. You know how many cars have secondary LCDs that don't tell you basically anything about the performance? Every other car basically doesn't have this.
And you have the track pace, so lap times, all the laps. That's one thing that I was really like, surprised by, is that this car is so customizable. I have 64 ambient color lighting, like 64 colors. Like, it's crazy. So you can have your map inside like Audi does.
G-force gauge.
Yes, G-force, everything.
Let's see, we're holding about 0.7 right now. Hit 0.8.
And it's very accurate. Like, it's really, like, it's good.
You know, one thing I want to add is that you can feel a lot of the vibrations in this car. Some cars, they deaden everything, where it's just too much of a comfort luxury vehicle, but it starts to feel raw.
Exactly.
And the upper RPM, you can feel the vibrations. You can feel just how sharp that throttle response gets. I'll be honest, like when you brake right away, you don't get like very much bite. There's a little there's a tiny bit of play, but once you start getting on it, it feels gradual and very progressive. But the steering feel, it's not the most aggressive steering rack.
Still has the little Mercedes luxury.
Yeah, it's got luxury, but it's got feedback at the same time, where you feel exactly what's happening. Race.
Now we're in race.
This is gonna stiffen it up even more. This is the most aggressive setting, right, for the car?
Everything full blast.
Let's see if we can feel a difference. That's kind of cool. You can see the horsepower on the front display as well. Can I stab the gas?
Oh yeah, do it.
So it's letting us kick it out a bit.
Yeah. So after second gear, then it just goes.
I feel like the transmission's a bit sharper right now.
Yes,
in race.
It's a little touch,
One thing I want to mention, even though this car doesn't have a conventional dual clutch, the MCT, the multi-clutch transmission, shifts extremely fast. I mean, I am very impressed with the shift speeds that this car actually gives you. It feels pretty instantaneous. Not as quick as a DCT, but like it feels right there next to it. Then just cruising right now, upshifting. The car feels comfortable. The seats, they're holding you well in the corners, but they're not too race-like for the street.
You need to option these seats if you have an AMG, because they do make the interior very unique.
Just got out of the AMG C63S. The thing is so much fun. I've got the biggest smile on my face. Major thank you to Daniel for letting us check out his car. Make sure to follow him on Instagram. I'll have his username floating on the screen right now. Please let us know in the comment section down below, what do you think of this AMG and also the end of the V8? Definitely going to miss it. However, looking forward to seeing the performance out of the next generation C63. Please let me know again your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for much more great videos coming out your way. I'll see all of you in the next episode.